Hey, what's up, ladies and germs on the YouTube universe? This is Cri Childs. Welcome to my channel. And I haven't done a video in a minute, I think. A lot of stuff that's going on lately. I've been working on several different projects, have let go a few clients as well. We're shifting our business a little bit. I recently, as of yesterday, actually entered into a contest for a local small business competition for a bank called Extraco. So you'll be seeing that shortly. I'm going to be posting the progress of that, as well as also making some changes to my YouTube channel and making some changes online, basically. Really focused on creative acquisitions this year. So going through some training with Pace Morby and learning his Gator method, learning how to do creative finance, so both subject to and seller finance. And this channel really, this is not mostly going to be an update video. This is going to be a welcome to the channel video. So I didn't have enough space to actually write this into the YouTube description, so I figured I'd just go ahead and give you guys my backstory in this video. But I started out going to college. I went the traditional college path, went off, got a good degree, right, in engineering. Senior year, kind of got senioritis. I was doing so many different things. I had three provisional patents I was filing. One was for a roller skate that I saw at Walmart the other day, and another one was for a lost and found system, which I actually haven't seen anybody do it quite the way we were going to do it. I've seen people do something similar, but now Apple has the AirTag and everything, so it's like it's not really worth it to pursue that. But was doing that, was playing rugby, was in the Sigma Chi fraternity, was still making decent grades. I think I graduated with a 3.3 GPA. And on top of that, I was helping a friend market a little product called Nanotips. So I wasn't doing anything really well. I was doing everything like pretty good, and the challenge was I lacked focus. So whenever I came out of school, I had no career prospects at all. I did not want to go get a corporate gig, and I ended up coming home to Texas, and I took a sales job doing door-to-door T-Mobile sales and was making $1,000 a month. I'm not even kidding. I was making less than I would have made if I worked at McDonald's or at Burger King or any fast food job. I was making $1,000 a month. So I pretty quickly quit that job. It was only about 6 months. I quit. I went over to Europe. I traveled a little bit. I had a little bit of savings. And I realized that I just didn't want to do that kind of work, right? I didn't quite find my groove until 3 or 4 sales jobs later when I got a job at Apple. And someone basically gave me Dave Ramsey's CDs and said, here, listen to this program. So I swiped the CDs. I put them on my computer. I listened to everything. I got myself out of debt. And that was the first step on the path of progress with my journey. I actually started selling online back in 2009. And it took me 2 years and 11 months to pay off my student loans. I had $33,555 of student loans and credit cards that I let build up. I actually graduated with $27,000 in debt, but I let it accumulate because I didn't understand interest and how compounding interest worked at the time. I had like a concept of it, but I didn't quite understand the how student loans work and the deferment and forbearance period, that it was basically just accumulating more debt and it was compounding the interest. So got all that stuff paid off in 2018. From 2016 to 2018, paid off all my student loans. Was hustling and grinding, working at eBay. And since I've started back in 2009 with online marketing and business, I've failed at blogging. I'm not above saying that. I've miserably failed at blogging. Was not consistent enough to build anything. Failed at a meal prep business that I tried to help my wife start. Was too controlling and did not give her the space or the support that she needed. And we ended up just deciding to wrap it up because we didn't want to like argue and fight. Succeeded at making $7 an hour selling stuff on Amazon, which was a big lesson in don't try and do what everybody else is doing. Instead, niche down, find a way to promote your product. Did actually sell about $10,000 on eBay and use that to pay off my student loans, and made my first $4,000 a month doing marketing, working only about 5 hours per week. That was whenever I kind of had the breakthrough that like I need to work for myself. I can't be working for somebody else. Made my first $20,000 in a month running short-term rentals, and now we're here. So some of the things that I learned from this process, which has taken me 10 years, and hopefully it takes you less time. Whole reason why I'm creating this channel is not to become super famous. I really honestly don't want fame. I don't like awards. I don't like certificates or promotion or anything like that. I actually would prefer to kind of be like the guy that everybody knows and everybody likes, but nobody really knows like, you know, how good he is at what he does, right? So I've learned that always be up-leveling your skills and your network. It's not just your network is your net worth. It's what you can do for your network and what your network can do for you. If you know a bunch of people in your town and all of them are losers, no offense, but if all of them are losers, then what's your potential to grow, right? But if you don't know anything at all and you're not good at any skills whatsoever and you know a bunch of A players, what value do you bring them? So for me, it was not just focus on your skill development and your knowledge, but also focus on building your network. You're not above doing anything, honestly. Like I've cleaned toilets, I have done the laundry, I have driven across a state I drove 14 hours overnight to go set up a property. You're not above doing the hard work, but you have to ask yourself, is this the best thing I can be spending my time on? Is this the best use of my time? Because if you want to go from being a worker bee in someone else's company to being the owner of your own company, you have to really elevate yourself. There's a concept in traction, like getting traction on something, called elevate and delegate. So in order for you to delegate, you must know how to do said task. Once you know how to do the task, the next best thing you can do is delegate it to somebody and then monitor it. Once you've done that over and over again, then you can find someone to then delegate the delegation to. Management, the maintenance, the upkeep and stuff, to then hand off to that person and let them run the system that you built. But as entrepreneurs, our job is to solve problems first. And then once we solve that problem, create a repeatable process to solve the problem over and over again. That's something that I'm very good at. It's the actual show up, do the work, do it every single day, mind-numbing, day in and day out, that I'm not really that great at. So just because a business fails doesn't mean that you are a failure. I've failed at several different businesses for various different reasons. One, I didn't have the knowledge that I needed. Two, I didn't give myself the time that was necessary to make the business successful. Three, I was too distracted. There's a lot of different reasons why someone can fail at business and still not be a failure. If you learn something from that business and you've learned a new skill or you developed maybe a better mindset or developed business contacts, that business isn't a failure, right? Just because the business didn't succeed doesn't mean that you are a failure is what I meant to say. So that being said, take what you can from your failures or your not so successes and learn from it, right? That's how you make a loss into a win. Another thing that I learned is that more money isn't the solution. Usually it's not the solution. Usually there's a limitation in our own minds that says, hey, we can't do something because we lack a resource like time, money, knowledge, relationships, credit, etc. We teach people in our community to go out in spite of those limitations, right? And go find opportunities because you can use your creativity and your ingenuity to solve problems. You don't even have to have money to do it. I'll give you an example. Short-term rental operators, right? We run a short-term housing company, short-term and midterm. So when I want to go and set up a property, I am not looking to do the work myself. I am looking to build a system that does the work for me. Part of being a business owner is to leverage your time to get better returns so you can employ people and then you can give them something to do and they make a decent income and you make a great income. So one of the services that we need in a short-term housing company is trash needs to be taken out, right? And since I'm pretty sure a lot of people have thought about this, but since we started this business, I've seen multiple different people attempt to try and solve this problem. I've seen Ubers for trash service. I've seen people running trash routes like pool routes, and there's no right or wrong answer or way to do it. What it comes down to is, can you be profitable and solve a problem, right? That is the number one thing you have to understand with business. So I've seen people come up with creative ways to do that. I mean, it could be driving around with your car with a bin, like a large plastic bin, and having extra bags and rubber gloves and stuff like that, and going and actually hauling the trash over to the dump and charging a service fee. I've also seen people that are essentially just cart movers, right? So they just move your cart out to the street on a scheduled time, and then they move it back in. And both of these are solutions to a problem. The challenge is SDR operators, business owners, people that are running short-term housing companies, how do they get their trash to the street and back from the street or take out excessive garbage? And that is the real question, because if, let's say somebody does take the trash out to the street on time and then the trash company doesn't pick it up, what do? Let's say that the trash is not properly sorted or it's too much trash, right? What do? That is where the entrepreneur comes in and solves the problem. And if you can solve it for one person, chances are you can solve it for 1,000 people. And that's where the opportunity is. So creativity and ingenuity is your answer. It's not money, time, credit, network, etc. Right? You can build all those things. What you can't build is ingenuity. You have to, actually, I take that back. You can build ingenuity, but you must learn the skill of ingenuity. And that's something that we don't teach people in school. That's something that I never learned in school until my last semester of college. So if you can learn that now, go be creative, go solve problems, go listen to people's problems. And that leads me to point number 5, which is seek to solve problems. Don't seek to make money. My mistake when I first started out when I was 21 was I want to make more money, right? I was making $1,000 a month. I was making less than people at McDonald's were making, and I was working 12-hour days. And I had to sit through sales meetings, and it was just long and arduous. And I knew that I didn't want to be a corporate guy. But when you look to solve problems, what you start noticing is you start noticing patterns and trends. And if you can start looking for what is the biggest, hairiest, ugliest problem that I can solve, and what do I need to do in order to solve it, and how many people can I solve it for, that would dictate what they're willing to pay you. So going out there and looking for problems to solve, like for example, people don't know how to build websites. That's not a problem, right? You can go hire somebody on Fiverr. The problem is business owners face not knowing where their business is coming from, not knowing how many new leads are going to be generated next month, not knowing how many leads to conversion ratio, what's their show up rate for appointments or for consultations or for audits or whatever you want to call the appointment. What's their show up ratio? What's their conversion ratio? How many of those are they selling, right? How many new appointments, new sales, new customers are they getting every single week? How do they measure that, right? These are all problems that business owners face, that if you can solve these problems in a systematic way for a specific group of people, then you can go and create a business tomorrow, right? You could solve those problems and create a business. I'll give you an example. Cosmetic surgeons. Right? Cosmetic surgeons don't want to know sales marketing, how to do Google ads, how to do PPC, how to go out and do TikTok ads or build social media content. They don't want to do any of that. What they want is they want patients coming to them, sitting down in their chair so they can do a consultation because they spent 10 to 12 years of their life paying a lot of money to get this skill. They want people to show up. They want to be able to serve them and help them feel better, help them improve their appearance. Therefore, they will feel better about themselves, and do it in a seamless and easy fashion. So if you know that that's what that business owner wants, they want a predictable process that will help them close more business. Now you can go say, what skills do I need to be able to create that? And that's where the opportunity is. Cosmetic surgeons, dentists, hair restoration surgeons. You can go over and you can talk to construction manufacturing, like equipment companies that manufacture equipment for construction sites. You can do sales and leasing for large manufactured equipment, right? Dump truck manufacturing, right? Nobody tries to build a marketing agency supporting dump truck manufacturers. Don't they need customers too, right? So there's millions of niches because there's millions of different opportunities and combinations of local, regional, national businesses, different industries, and then niches within those industries. It's an abundance of different opportunities out there. So that being said, really, if you guys are here on my YouTube channel, please hit the bell icon, hit the subscribe icon. I haven't been really great about posting content regularly, but I will be posting updates on our furnished housing company. We're working on building out a systematic process for acquiring more rentals in and around military bases so we can serve the military and medical communities. We're also working on documenting those systems. I'm actually going to be building another marketing agency, possibly, focusing very specifically on a very, very narrow niche, which I'm not going to talk about today. And I probably won't talk about because, again, we're not trying to create competition for ourselves, but I can talk about some other niches that I've worked with in the past, as well as also if you want to get started with doing like lead generation businesses, then hit me up. Shoot me a DM, email me, I guess you could do as well. You can find me on Facebook, on Instagram at cri.childs, and hit me up if you're interested in starting a part-time online business. Really, my superpower is helping people make an extra $1,000 a month. If you can just generate an extra $1,000 a month, what could that do for your lifestyle, right? And if you can go from $1,000 to $10,000 a month, now you've actually started a business. And then you have a different problem, which is now you need to have systems and processes in order to scale. And do you even want to scale this, right? Do you like just having it as a part-time thing? How do you get all your time back and still get the money, right? Those are some of the problems that I solve, that if you're interested, I would be more than happy to sit down with you, talk with you more about that. It's not free, but at the same time, all the content on my YouTube channel is. So feel free to soak up all the content here. And then if you are interested in working with me, then go ahead and schedule a call. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. I'm going to go ahead and post this up on YouTube and get back to work.